Okay, one difficult thing about not streaming in a while is that I don't have everything necessarily set up correctly. So let me just go through, and I am going to be muting Euro Truck Simulator, and I'm just going to be turning that music down a little bit just in case that is a bit loud. And yeah, let's just put Euro Truck Simulator down to like volume 2. So, well, this has been a while since my last stream. Part of that reason is kind of just health issues, physical and mental, and honestly I just kind of really just didn't really want to do any kind of streaming, but hopefully now that I am actually back in the system, I should be able to get this scheduled through and actually sorted out. So what have I been doing? Well, I've been focusing on some of my other kind of hobbies and interests, which include some writing and some artwork. And I may include the latter of that in some of the actual, streams and such that I'm thinking of doing. And yes, I apologise if my head's kind of moving to the left quite a bit. I set up a new, rather large graphics drawing tablet a couple of months back. So the old one I used to be able to drag it and put it in front of me and use that as my secondary monitor. The new one is actually bigger than my main monitor, so I have a small issue where if I tried to drag it in front of me onto the desk, I wouldn't be able to see anything on my main monitor. So anyway, let's go up here. So I did set... Oh, hover over, I can actually see it. Okay, so I did set up a profile here, which I had intended to do for the Iberia DLC for Euro Truck Simulator, but instead we do have just this level 1 here, which I basically did to get past the tutorial. So if we just load in. Okay, content change detected, updating navigation, that is fine. So let's just wait for this to load in and we can get started. Now this obviously also has been quite a while since I've played this. Thankfully I should remember most of the controls and we shouldn't be careening around and bumping into too many things, but we will have to just go and see. Okay, conflict detected. Yep, everything's been turned back into a neutral area. Okay, there's no new emails there, and we have a whopping 9,875 euros. So let's go and see what kind of quick jobs are available for us. And yes, I do tend to go price per distance. So what do we have here? Is there anything that looks good? Anything that looks good that is not tractors or a reservoir tank would probably be nice. Is there anything worthwhile? Fertilizer, sawdust panel. Okay, I don't think these are oversized ones, so let's take this. And I really hope I do not regret my decision in 2 minutes. Nope, okay. Keyboard controls on, and nope, not F2. No, not F2, just regular 2. Because as much as the driving from the cabin looks nice, my spatial awareness is just absolutely horrible, and that is not the exit. I was looking at the map and it was saying to go right. No, we need to go left to find the exit. So yeah, my spatial awareness is not amazing, so I need to have the kind of overhead bird's eye view on this. And let's just quickly go here and stop, because I can see there is a car coming on that direction. Which way are my indicators? There we go. Okay, I didn't put the windscreen wipers on. That's good. I do have a tendency to do that. Alright, and yep, we look good to go. If I can turn. What are you doing? Why are you not turning? There, okay. Anyway, we are good. We are fine. We are fine. Okay, red lights. And just wait here. Oh. And of course, as I say that, the lights just go green. We can head along and just check. Speed limit is 50 kilometers, so we are good to go on that. And I'm gonna say we probably should actually have where are my lights? This is what I was saying. Okay, there's the windscreen wipers going on. I do not need those. Okay, that is also the windscreen wipers. That was not what I wanted. Okay, coupling. Okay. Excuse all my absolute abject failures. I am trying to remember where I put the lights on this, because it is pretty dark. Well, it's pretty late in the game. And let's just line this up and get going. Okay, slow down a bit, and that should be, yep. Oh, cruise control just as I roll onto the sidewalk, which is always a good thing to do, and up to 90. Not that we can necessarily do 90 because we are limited in this. But let's just take the angles on the road a bit gentler. Just make sure we can do all of that without crashing into anyone. Yes, you can see what I mean. Did I just crash into someone? No, I don't think so, but if I'm not careful, I'm going to crash into the barriers, which is not going to be good. Okay, and need to come in and merge. And yes, by the way, if you are worried about my driving abilities on the road in real life, don't worry, I do not drive. So any accidents, disasters you see here will never be replicated by me in real life, because I am never behind the wheel of a vehicle. People will be glad to know that. And just around here. So, history of why on earth I decided to start or to pick up and start playing Euro Truck Simulator. Admittedly, part of it was me kind of seeing on various Reddit boards and such the absolute disasters some people got into. But some of it was honestly just... It's really, really bizarre. It's one of those games where you recommend to people to have a look and play and everything, and they just look at you funny because driving a truck around Europe, that's not going to be that fun. Oh, okay, get off the road indicators. But sometimes it actually genuinely... Oh, it actually genuinely is... Oh, wow, okay, that car got smashed up something horrible. Anyway, so it may seem weird. Oh, I do have the headlights on. They were... Right, I thought so. I thought it was the joypad up. I just couldn't see anything. It's like nice and calming and soothing. And obviously driving around all the roads you do get a sense of progression as well, unlocking various things. And so when I started playing this, I will say that I was coming in from... No, actually, no, I wasn't coming in from Saints Row. That was at a completely different time. But it was, like, I was more used to putting my foot down on the accelerator and just speeding forwards on everything. So quite a lot of my early attempts, especially before I managed to configure my game controller to my liking, well, I was involved in a fair few accidents, and there were a couple of situations that I ended up in that I just could not get out of without calling for rescue, so that was interesting. But then I got used to it, set up the controls perfectly as I wanted them. And then a friend of mine bought me Saints Row 4, which, if you don't know the game, basically, well, Saints Row 4 you don't need cars because you have super speed. But nevertheless, on that, kind of the whole idea is that you just put there, or go fast on the accelerator, drive wherever you want. Everyone else is as bad a driver as you, which the friend who bought me the game mentioned as a positive, pretty much almost word for word, that this is the only game she knows that, well, the only game that she knows where the people who, or the AI that drives around, drives about as well as she does. And that was apparently meant to be a selling point to me. But with that, well... So I started playing Saints Row 4 and then later 3 when that went on sale. And I adopted the habit of going through and doing the whole just maximum acceleration, go as fast as you can, don't care about any traffic lights or road rules, which really impacted me when I came back to play Euro Truck Simulator, because I was so used to just speeding my way through everything that I had to stop and remember that, oh yeah, I can't do that here, at least not without penalty. I'm not going to get paid money for skimming next to a car or anything. Oh, okay, looks like we've got a train that is going to be coming through. Let's just nudge up to the crossing area and just wait a moment. Now, I did admittedly one time when I came through on obviously an earlier version and like a completely different profile, was that I decided that, okay, the lights are flashing but there's nothing coming along. Okay, maybe I shouldn't actually be stopping here. I can hear people behind me honking. I'm sorry, it looked like they were telling you a train was coming along. Jeez, people. Anyway, so one time I did actually come along there, like the lights were flashing, but I couldn't see anything, so I thought, you know what, I'll just like quickly drive across, and nope, the game apparently knew that some people would do it, so it was effectively like driving into a brick wall, just slammed into it, did something like 17% damage to the truck. And yeah, I had to just basically wait there until the train did pass and the game could let me through. That was a rather humbling moment. Okay, so now this is also where I show off my kind of lack of skill by going forwards and deciding where we are going to leave the trailer for this job. Oh. Okay, that is the B button. No, I don't want the bloody... Okay, is that the windscreen wipers off? Okay. Can I now? Yes, I can. Okay. So let's play it safe and we will just park it in, because honestly, if I try and do the proper full reversing and everything, this will be like 10 minutes of driving and honestly an hour of me trying to park, just because I am that atrocious at it. Okay, and speaking of, there we go. Okay, and reverse in, and okay, good enough. Good enough. Okay, joypad Y, which is also the screenshot button. Anyway, okay. Nope, I did not get any damage. And we actually level up to level 2. So I chose just-in-time delivery for our first one. Excuse me for a minute because this song seems to be a little bit louder for my liking. So if I just get my mouse across, there we go. And turn that down a bit more. There we go. Okay. So I do tend to do just-in-time delivery, long distance. Admittedly, I tend to leave eco-driving and the ADR stuff until last, just because I find that the other 4 tend to be more... They seem to have a better return on things. Oh, and we have one email. There we go, special transports. So that was what I was worried about, that the tractors were going to be one of the special delivery options. So we will go for high value cargo and we will come back to the job market for another quick job. So, okay, there we go. So massive tech part, special delivery. Now that is tempting. That is tempting because it is like, that is almost as much money as we have in the bank right now. Excuse me, take a drink. All right. Let me just Okay, so this is, yep, heavy cargo and high value. Yes, okay, we'll take it. So, these are special transport options, which means you have like an overwide load, which also means you have the small benefit where you don't actually have to obey road signs. You get priority over everything else. Everyone else has to stop for you. So, I'll just wait for this cutscene to go through. Always takes a bit of a while because it needs to apparently show you all the different sides of it. Okay, Can I speed this through? No, it does not look like it, unfortunately. Okay, there we go. You're about to haul special transport cargo. There are 2 escort vehicles which will lead you. Please be careful and follow their lead and suggestions in the route advisor. Special transports like this don't stop on a red signal and have the right of way in most situations. During these deliveries, checkpoints are made often to save your current progress. So, avoid any possible conflict with the escort vehicles and keep the cargo between them. Do not drive out of the estimated route, nor to filling stations, rest stops, etc. Obey speed limitations which will be ensured by the front escort vehicle. Watch out for overtaking traffic and other drivers on the roads. And change lane maneuver is basically the rear escort vehicle moves in, creates the gap. The front one moves in, secures that, and then you move in between them. And a little warning at the bottom there. You do not follow these rules, you basically will be penalised. So we can see our escort vehicles here and a police car. So if we just come out here and gently turn, yes, I know I'm moving to the rear escort. It has a wider turning circle than I was anticipating. Okay, and we are off. So let's just make sure that our overwide cargo is not going to be clipping anything like that speed sign. Okay, that should be good. And oh my goodness, that is a lot of trucks there waiting. So this is going to take us for 279 kilometers and an estimate of 4 hours and 9 minutes. Thankfully not real time. I think people would be a little bit bored if that was to happen. Okay, so we need to keep to 60 miles per hour and we are going to be turning. So let's just make sure we have our turning circle. Nope. This is what I'm talking about. This has too big a turning circle for my liking. And come on, you can get past that. And just about. And off the road and back onto the roads. And we missed the sign. We missed that road sign. Whoops. Okay, yes, I will reiterate. I do not drive. There is no chance of me replicating this in real life. Doubly so because this is special transport and thus, seeing as I don't drive, I don't have a special transport license either. Alright, so this is going up a little bit of a hill, so unfortunately that's taking us a while to accelerate, but we are gradually getting there. We can grab that up a bit, and of course now we want the windscreen wipers on because it has just started raining. Okay, and off to this. And see, I can make the turns. I can make the turns without a problem. Okay, so just being very, very cautious and very careful on this because I've already done a bit of damage and we really want to keep any more to well, as small and as minimal as we can do. So, on the motorway, okay, we are good to go on that. And just keep an eye out, we still have a speed limitation of 60 kilometers. And yeah, okay, let's just wait and put cruise control on. That should be us okay for that. So I do remember, and this is admittedly going back quite a few years, but there was actually a program on the television that was detailing one of these, like the organisation of a special transport route here in England. It was up in Lincolnshire, Peterborough, maybe, but it's quite interesting because there's, I believe it's an airport, like construction manufacturing thing up there, but basically the where it's placed is in a very awkward situation. So when they're constructing all of the airplanes, they have to make sure that they don't build it up too much because they have to load it up on lorries and transport it through all of these tiny little winding English country roads, through all of these tiny little tunnels and such, and make sure it all goes through. And well, basically drive it through all of these tiny little winding country roads to its destination to get constructed up a bit more. And just the logistics of it was fairly interesting because obviously the one main thing that they do is that they schedule all of the driving and deliveries for night, because naturally there's going to be a lot fewer people on the roads for all of that. And they pretty much do what they do in the game, which is set up police cars to warn people that there is an oversized lorry going to be coming through, putting police cars at I'm not sure I'd necessarily call them choke points, but like at traffic lights and turn-offs, so that the truck itself can get through there without any issue. And then obviously the guide vehicles, the truck and the driver, all have their own responsibilities and directions for that. But just the whole kind of idea of it and how they structured it and managed it was fairly interesting. It's one of those things where you don't necessarily think it would be, concentrate. Come on. Okay, I think we may be stuck. Oh, no. Got it. Okay, and apparently I should really have put some kind of photosensitivity warning on that. I was not anticipating that we would be stuck there for that long. Okay, but we seem to be going through without too much issue. And actually, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to quickly put a photosensitivity warning up for this, if I can find my screens and everything. Okay, where are you? Alright, got it. And yeah, this is what I mean, it's just been so long. Video producer, and nope, that is not the right one. Right, okay, I'm gonna have to find it in my OBS settings. Wow, okay, my avatar is a little bit energetic, just say. I should be able to change this. Oh, edit. Goodness, big button right in front of me. Appear. Flashing. No. goodness, probably because it's not actually a tag, is it? There we go. Photosensitivity warning. And yep, okay, that has been added in now. So hopefully no one was too affected by that. And let's just go back into the game and continue. Hey, you know, thinking about it, well, I suppose not really. Okay, yes, I've done that. Thank you very much, game. I would say it's like things like photosensitive epilepsy should be given a tag, but then I suppose it's more like you wouldn't want to filter for that tag, you'd want to filter it out. So it's a little bit, yeah, it's not the right idea to have it as part of a tag. You just need to have it as part of your description. So let me just have a think. How have things been going for me? Well, we had a bit of a heat wave in the UK, or I know, some countries don't consider the temperatures that we have would have been a heat wave. But when you live in a country that has its entire infrastructure built around retaining heat in houses, when you get warmer than average temperatures, when you don't have anything like air conditioning to help you out, and especially in my circumstance where you end up living in a bunch of flats that are really, really good at keeping the heat in, yeah, higher than average temperatures tend to be a pain to deal with. And pretty much also because, well, I live in a flat. I also have a cat, and said cat really likes to investigate things. We cannot leave the windows open because if we did, he would try and explore, and if he got out the windows, he wouldn't necessarily be able to get back in, which is a problem for all of us and everyone outside. Not something we really want to do. So we have to manage that and mitigate it. We've got curtains and whatnot that we pull across to try and keep various rooms cool, open those windows up, because one thing that my cat does tend to do is stay mostly in the same room as we are, though at the moment I can look around, he's not here. He's probably sleeping on the bed, nicely curled up and tucked in, because it basically hit October and the warm weather just went goodbye and we are freezing, relatively speaking. It's more of a condition, well, not a condition, but a situation and circumstance where we've gone from being able to pad around in jeans and t-shirts to making sure we've got hoodies on, we have the windows closed, the fans turned off, and all of that business. And it is almost getting to the point where, well, we have a nice, lovely knitted, I think technically crochet blanket, but anyway, a like large chunky knit blanket we have that we put on the bed over winter. And my cat absolutely adores that. He will snuggle into that like nothing else. And honestly, it's been getting so cold that I've been tempted to bring that blanket up, put it on the bed and just snuggle down in the warmth. We also have a like fleecy duvet cover which gets good use in the winter when it does get really cold, and we can just put that on nice and warm, add a blanket, doubly so. And then my cat just snuggles up on the blanket at the foot of the bed and sleeps the night away. Because that is one thing that, well, we've just basically got him used to. We head off to bed. If he's not tired enough, then he will dash around the flat wanting to play a little bit. One of us will chase after him, like play, attack, find some toys for him to get his energy out on, and then he'll jump on the bed, flump over, and he'll pretty much be sleeping away until about 6 in the morning. And yeah, even when he wakes up, he's pretty much fine, just lounging around until someone gets up and is able to get him his breakfast. So somehow we have ended up with a very, very well trained little fluff. Although, like with or COVID, well, I can't really say COVID cases declining in the UK because we're still pretty high up on terms of like number of cases. What we are low down on is like the relative level of hospitalizations and deaths compared to where we were about this time last year. But things have been opening up at a pretty decent pace. Like various offices and places of work have been reopening and allowing for people to venture back into the workplace full time. So there have been a few situations where I've been the only person around in the flat. Gets to little kitty Fluff's food time and he doesn't really meow and pester me all that much. Unlike my husband. Where Holly tends to come up and meow at him and, well, not pester him, but kind of walk along the keyboard, stand in front of the monitor, flump down, roll over, look cute, wanting attentions. No, he doesn't do that with me. Maybe he just realises or thinks or realises that just doesn't work for me. But he's not neglected, he's not left out, he's not lonely, he gets his 4 meals a day, he gets the occasional treat or two, and I have to be very careful when I say that word, lest I do a repeat of the scene in Up, because if there's one thing he knows, it's words relating to food. I think at last count he knew about 10 different words, and 8 of them were related to food in some way. Oh, he knows his name. He knows like what it means when we ask him if he's hungry. He knows what it means if we ask him if he wants some food. He knows what it means if we ask him if he wants a treat. He knows what we mean when we say we've seen a bug. And he knows up as well when we try to get him like onto his cat tree or onto the bed. And he's starting to learn head bonk. But half of that is honestly just the tone of voice that we tend to use with him, so yeah, tonal variation and intent. Because obviously if we're standing by the bed and we're holding a hand over it and we're asking Ollie to jump up, I think he kind of, even without the vocal request, he would be able to understand all of that. Okay, so lane change maneuver coming through. We could obviously see a bus coming along. So we do not move until the front vehicle has moved for this. So we will just pause for a moment and just make sure, because that bus is okay, the car in front has fully stopped. The music has also stopped, so I'm just going to quickly go and check on that. Have we actually reached the end of the playlist? Yes, I want to continue. Okay, no, it was just going, oh, you haven't like said that you wanted to continue playing this, so we're gonna pause it for you, even though it's YouTube music. Thank you. Okay, and we have that now. And we can go back and continue waiting for all the cars and traffic to go past, and then we can... Oh, there we go. Okay. So front car has moved in. Rear escort is behind, as they should be. And then my lovely, absolute favourite part of German highways, just like that. The very, very narrow section. I think we're in Germany anyway. Please don't tell me you've basically sent me onto something that I cannot get through. Okay, we do have a little bit of wiggle room. So let's see if we can actually get it. Come on. Okay, that differential thingy mabob it was saying about. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, what is... Okay, yes, it is that corner that is getting stuck. So let's just have a look. Okay, we are... Okay, and how is that doing? No, it is still jammed up. Right, okay, is there anything else? Okay, I see the problem. I see the problem, and I also see that my windscreen wipers are going. So yes, we need to very much wiggle this around. This is not going how I wanted it to go, game. Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's try this. I refuse to be bested by this. I refuse to be bested. We may be here for a while, but I just refuse to be bested by it. Okay, and we need to go really slowly and carefully to make sure that we don't get caught on anything. Okay, that is... Okay, and... Come on. Come on, we can get through this. Come on. Come on. We're getting there. We are getting there. Oh my goodness, we are pretty much just scraping the sides of this. Oh goodness. Come on. Come on. We need to keep going. We need to keep going. Perfectly straight. Perfectly straight. Maybe that's my problem. As I am not perfectly straight. Yeah, bad joke. Bad joke. And are we caught again? Hey, this route was not well planned, people. This route was not well planned. I can hear the squeaking. Like, it's not actually in the game, but I can hear the scraping. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I can see you moving. I can see you moving. Come on. There we go. Okay. We are mostly free. We are mostly free. I say that and we get stuck again. So if we turn off that differential stuff, we should be able to just drive right on the edge of this. And not get caught on anything, hopefully. Okay, we are going. Okay, that took much longer than I thought it was going to. That is slightly aggravating. That does not feel like it was the intended path to take on that. Okay, where is the front escort vehicle? They are just up ahead. Good. Okay. You should get moving. Okay, please wait for the rear escort vehicle. Apparently I left them a fair bit behind then. Anyway, we have 41 kilometers to go and 39 minutes is the estimated travel time in-game terms anyway. So that should get us there about 6 AM, which it says. I was just about to say, is that okay, when is that rear vehicle going to turn up? But it just did. So, but well, discounting the penalties I probably have from taking some damage, which surprisingly none of it was when we got stuck in that underpass. Very surprisingly to me. But anyway, discounting that, we should actually finish this and have 20,000 euros in the bank. Still absolutely nowhere near enough to get our own truck, but honestly, it's one of those things where I kind of almost prefer just doing the quick jobs where you get given a truck to do work than necessarily buying your own one. As I have experimented a bit in the past. Oops, we are going a little too fast with like buying a garage and everything, hiring 1 or 2 people to help you out, and then basically giving them the trucks that you purchase, and yourself just staying with the quick jobs where you just pick them up wherever and whenever. So I always find that's a quicker way to find all the different cities and whatnot than obviously using your own truck, having to maintain it, pay for the repairs, pay for the fuel and everything. And I suppose I should just be glad that they don't implement any kind of obviously routine maintenance, wheel replacing, oil changes, all of that good stuff that you need to take an eye on when you are actually someone that owns a car. So thankfully, even though we are getting pretty tired, it does look like we're going to... Yep, okay, we can see the flag at the end. So we are within spotting distance of our destination. So one slight annoying thing with the special deliveries is that I can see that there's a question mark or something, so that's either a driver recruitment centre or a truck dealer, but neither of those, unless we happen to just drive right by it, will I be able to pass by and kind of tick off my list because this is not going to let me deviate from the path at all. That path also has a concrete barrier right there, so let's just hope we can get past it without too much issue, and the answer is no. But okay, there we go. And I swear it seems like the differential lock is a relatively new thing, because I do not recall ever having seen that before. Come on. I know we're stuck on the concrete barrier a little bit, but we can still go forwards. There we go. And turn that off. And kind of keep to the middle-ish of the road. And we have discovered Amsterdam. Which obviously it existed before we turned up here, but it's more that we are now aware of where Amsterdam is on our map. Even though real life we'd have obviously paper maps. Why is the satellite GPS? Why is the name of the satellite system completely blanking? But anyway, obviously all of the GPS and navigational aids. And we are just pulling the truck into here to finish up our delivery. And come on. Oh, pretty much there. There we go. So joypad down. So that one is not going to do another screenshot. So we do get a few achievements or progress towards achievements. Ooh, and that also meant we leveled up. So that is interesting, even though we did have a bit of damage to the truck and the cargo. So long distance delivery bonus. Efficiency bonus. So yeah, we got a bit of extra money and extra experience for that. That is nice. And once again, I think we will just pour our money into high value cargo. We have a new email, which is probably, yep, the bank bring me a loan, which we'll just read and discard. So yep, there we go, 20,000. And let's obviously continue on for another quick job. So we've got some oversized cargo, industrial condenser, boiler part. But I think we will go here for a pressure tank. Have we actually been to that city? Yes, we have. So yes, we've been to Liège, been to Amsterdam, been to Strasbourg, not been to Stuttgart. So we could do that and just tick that down off our list. Yeah, let's go to Stuttgart. So we're carrying a pressure tank, which should just be a standard regular. Yep. So unfortunately, we do need to turn around almost 180 degrees and go out there. So get this started. And we can immediately see the difference when we are not hauling some kind of oversized cargo. This does accelerate quite a fair bit faster. Check out the front of this, make sure a bit further so I can actually see. There we go. Okay, and okay, that was nearly on the brick wall, which would not have been a good start to this delivery. So here we go. So this one is 216 kilometers, 3 hours 49 minutes. And well, technically we can go where we want. Technically, but yeah, we'll obviously just stick with the sat nav systems. and follow that around. If I saw that coming, well, obviously I saw it, but not in enough time to avoid completely smashing into it. I am not showcasing my best self here today. I am definitely not showcasing my best self. Okay, road is clear, so indicate and merge in. And there we go. So nice and peaceful. Hopefully relatively low-ish stress. Like I said, low-ish stress. So it's like this Euro Truck Simulator did manage to come across and be one of the games that I kind of tend to start up and play when I want to play a game, but I don't really want to play a game, if that makes sense to people. Like, it's one of the ones where it's low effort, low energy, low stress. It doesn't really require that much brain power or active skill to really play. It's, well, one of the reasons why RimWorld is also one of my more commonly played games as well, because it's turn-based, pause it, and it's like a simulation building game, so all the colonists do the work for you almost, and you can just sit back, watch it progress, and then just intervene as and when necessary. It might come back from the days when I used to just basically load up on Dungeon Keeper. That was the one. Showing my age a little bit here with that. The original Dungeon Keeper, released in the 90s, rather than any remakes or rehashes EA has attempted. But I would obviously just sit down and play that for hours on end, and it was one of these obviously base building simulation games where you're giving orders to the creatures, but you're obviously not controlling them in order to do so. I really do need to look into, what was it, War of the Overworld at some point. That has been sitting in my library for absolutely forever, and every time I think about going to try and pick it up, I just get distracted by other things, which is really silly because it's done in the vein of Dungeon Keeper. They made it as like an homage to it, and their attempt to taste at a spiritual sequel to it, and I believe they even got the same narrator as the original Dungeon Keeper games, so I really must go ahead and play it at some point. Anytime I think about it, I just get distracted by other ideas. Maybe it'll be one to stream and do a first playthrough on and see how badly I can do. Or showcase how bad I am at it, which hopefully shouldn't be that bad. Because if it's a spiritual successor to Dungeon Keeper, and Dungeon Keeper was one of the games I played in my childhood, then if the controls are similar, I should be able to pick it up pretty easily. But, well, indulge me going back however many years it is. Please don't say I want to remain unbothered by my actual age, but so I Dungeon Keeper was pretty much one of the first games I had ever bought. Bought it in a double pack with the Deeper Dungeons kind of expansion pass. Not expansion pass, but like expansion add-on pack. And it was the one game that had an eternal place on my computer hard drive. I never uninstalled it. It was always there. And even got to the situation where when the disk stopped working on my computer, I managed to copy it across to a pen drive and run it from the pen drive. And that managed to last a good number of years until, sadly, I was at university waiting for classes. Decided to grab my laptop, try loading it up and show a couple of people because they had no idea what Dungeon Keeper was. And sadly, I tried to load it up and I just got a great big question mark on the screen. It was all, nope, sorry, can't read this. So I did go a few years without the game, up until I managed to buy it from, as it was then known, goodoldgames.com, and we want to go rear hard right on this. And that's been one that I've played on occasion ever since, though my life and situation has very much changed since then. I have a lot more disposable income, but a bit less actual free time to play games, so it has been a while since I decided to load it up and play for a bit. And honestly, considering how old it is, I don't even know what the super mega awesome highest of the high resolutions is. Probably 480p or something silly like that. Okay, so which lane do we need to be in? Probably this one. Yep, Stuttgart. We do indeed want to stay here. And oddly enough, despite actually getting Dungeon Keeper 2 at the same time as the first one, okay, maybe we don't go there because a police car, fire truck, so we can't actually go through there. Thankfully, the GPS in the game does reorientate itself, even if it does mean that we're essentially going to have to go up to the next junction, turn around on ourselves, and do a long right, long left. Is that, I think? Yeah, I think a long left is correct. Don't mind me, I do sometimes confuse left and right. Hey. Good old brain not being wired in the neurotypical method always makes things a bit fun. When I get directions, I do sometimes have to pause and think and go, okay, I'm going this way. Someone's telling me that I need to turn off to the right, and I just have to make sure that I actually know which way is right in relation to basically me. So unfortunately, this does look like it's quite a while. You know what? I'm gonna do something really bad, which you really should not do on a motorway. Wait for this other car to pass, and sod going all the way up there. I am just gonna take a cut across this. There's no barriers to stop me. And there we go, we're back on the road in the opposite direction where we wanted to go. I terrified my husband something awful when I started playing Euro Truck Simulator because, well, like I was saying earlier, pretty much all of the other games that I'd really played which had some kind of driving element in them were either rally games or games where you could drive as horrifically as you wanted, and there'd be no problem with that. Sometimes you were even rewarded for that. Whereas Euro Truck Simulator 2, you have to drive nicely, obey all the road signs and everything. So I would have a unfortunate habit of doing things like pulling out in front of cars without looking. And we want to go here. Pulling out in front of cars without looking, so of course they'd have to suddenly pause and stop while I was doing whatever I was doing. Indicating lights, running red lights, all those fun things. And he just stressed him out so much, it was a bit unbelievable, but oh well. I've learned over the years. And we want to merge back into this lane and keep going. So, oh wow, okay. Apparently we had a ridiculously long detour there. We had a ridiculously long detour because that's gone from 3 hours something to get to our destination to 1 hour. I'm probably going to have to review this and have a look to see how long it actually cut off on that. Because wow, that did some good work taking that. Again, don't do that in real life. You may cause a traffic jam, you may cause an accident, you may be pulled over by someone and find something awful because you just performed an illegal maneuver, but you know, this is a video game. We can kind of get away with those things on occasion. So we are under an hour, and I think when we make this delivery, that is going to be our finishing point for this. I was wanting just to get this started up so that I had a sense of a new stream beginning again, getting those things sorted, making sure that everything was as it was previously, making sure I wasn't doing anything to